Hi guys, I'm Hugo, a member of the AEC Digital Transformation team here at Pentagon Solutions, and today I'm going to give you a quick tour on how to manage electrical circuits in Revit. Modeling electrical services in Revit and still relying in other tools to edit and document your circuitry? Start leveraging the full potential of Revit today. Here we have an M&E project populated with all the components, but we are still missing some information for it to really act as a digital twin for our building. So I set up a scope box here just for us to focus on these two rooms and really manage the items on them. So if we look at this main electrical distribution section view, we have our transformer, then switchboard, and we have kind of a main distribution panel, and then a couple of panel boards here that we'll talk about. So I'm going to use this LP1B as the panel board for our lighting fixtures. Okay, and at the moment, if we go to our LP1B, we don't have any circuits assigned to it, and in MDP1 we see our LP1B with no loads and just some HVAC loads on that panel board. So I'm just gonna go to my level 1 here and really focus on what we want to do for this exercise. Again, activate my scope box here. And you may have noticed that I have my systems browser at the right. I really encourage you to have it on when you're doing this kind of work, and if you're focusing in a single discipline, just filter it so you don't have that clutter in your way. Right, so when we select a lighting feature, I moved that one by mistake, it will give you the kind of the default properties and default options. However, if you hover over and hit tab, it will give you in a dashed look the circuit that it has been added by default. However, it's still missing some information. You can notice that it has highlighted at the system browser, and it's an unnamed circuit, and it's not really fully defined. At the top, at our modify electrical circuits contextual ribbon, we have a few options. We could edit the circuit and have the full capacity of commands and options, but we have just from here the options to select a panel from my display, or just go here and panel from the drop down. So I want to use my LP1B as my panel for that circuit. Once I apply it, it will do a lot of changes in the background, and one of the changes is to create that circuit and assign it an actual name, in this case number 1. I don't really like it to be named as just a number because it might be confusing with all the information in our drawings. So we can manage that in our MEP settings, electrical settings, and create an actual circuit naming scheme. From Revit 2021, we have that option and that functionality. So in here, I want to be named after the panel. So it will be LP-1B and then dash and the number. And I'll just name it panel dash index scheme and OK. Now nothing has changed because I need to go to that specific panel board and go to my properties, circuit naming, and select that scheme. Once I select it, hopefully it has changed. Yeah, we have now our circuit LP-1B-1. So now when I select again my circuit, I can also just turn my wires into not really virtual wires, but actual wires, just by clicking this option that becomes available. So these are temporary wiring, but I want to turn it as permanent. I can click on the option that I get in the graphics or in this command here to create arc wires. Okay, so now that I created my circuit, I now actually notice that that circuit is crossing through two different rooms. I don't really want that. I would prefer to have two different circuits for the two rooms. So that's nothing easier than editing my circuit, removing the items I want to remove from that circuit. You notice that there's a darker tone in the elements that are in the circuit, which makes it super easy to just edit those. So now if I hit tab on those fixtures that I removed from the circuit, I won't get anything. So I'll just select again the components and I'll get an option here to create systems power, and I'll just create that system. Automatically it assigned LP1B as the panel, but I could select any of the other panels here, and again I can see here my circuit and it's named LP1B-2. Okay, and finally I'll just add the actual wires to my circuits and they will be pointing to my panel, right? So now if we have a look at the panel schedules, I can now see the loads from LP1B in my MDP1, and in LP1B I have my two circuits. In this case the one for the workshop 4 is named Lightning Workshop 4. I want the same for my Power Riser 113, and I just do it here, and if we go to the circuit, that will change in the properties as well. Okay, and the last thing I want to do is just to create an electrical circuit schedule here. So I'll put just a few parameters. I want my circuit number, my lighting connected, number of elements, panel, my system type, and voltage and voltage drop. Okay, and I want to sort this by circuit number descending. Okay, and I can see here at the top my circuits that I've created. So this can be used to easily document your services. Okay, and we can also rebalance the loads in our panels. So just click that button to rebalance loads and it will do the math for you. Also in LP1B it has rebalanced our loads. Okay, that is it for today. I hope this video helps you realize how easy and convenient it is to use Revit for electrical. And don't worry, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out and our team will be more than happy to help you. Thanks for watching. Click subscribe to be kept up to date with future videos. You can also follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter.